Hi, welcome to this week's episode from Lost in the Pond. I'm Lawrence Brown, the editor of Lost in the Pond, and this week I'm going to be talking about all of those kind of British English words that baffle Americans whenever I produce them from my lovely British mouth. This idea actually comes from YouTube user Mark Lockwood, so thank you for that, Mark. And so wife, what are some of those words that you often sort of are baffled by when I say them?
I'm not really baffled by a lot of words that you say anymore.
We've been together 10 years. After 10 years, you should have...
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I, walk down the street in Liverpool, I find it very difficult to understand most of what any of them are saying to me.
I think that's true of most of England. So they come up to you like that and ask you, hey, do you want to go down the Cavern Club? I don't know why they would do that, but they might. When I first moved here, one of the words was flannel. Actually, not as in the shirt, as Americans might think. It was the flannel that we would call, or that Americans would call, washcloth, that you wash your body parts with. It was a bit clinical. I asked your parents, because we lived with Tara's parents for a bit, and I needed to find a flannel, and they looked at me as if I was demanding shirts from them. But another one actually that came up around about the same time was plaster. I'd cut my finger or something like that, and I said, hey, where do you keep the plasters in the house? And they looked at me again as if I was a terrorist. So what do we call them here again?
Band-Aids.
Band-Aids, yeah, for me, Band-Aid is the Bob Geldof band that was formed in the 80s to save poverty in Africa, or to prevent it. And so I was sort of bewildered myself when they came back at me with that. So it's a two-way street. It's not just the Americans being bewildered by me, more actually me being bewildered by them. The word rubbish actually occasionally causes confusion. Not so much when I use it to mean trash, but when I say that such and such is rubbish. That thing over there, that's rubbish. Actually, I was pointing at our lovely shelf. So it's actually a nice shelf. The idea, I think, throws people off because I think they think when I point to something and say, that thing's rubbish, they believe, I think, Americans think I'm saying that it literally is trash and needs to be put in the bin, trash can. Another one, and this is quite topical for the summer, I suppose, despite the weather we've had in Indiana, suntan lotion. People look at me and not know what I'm talking about. What do you think I mean when I say those phrases?
Well, here we have a distinction between suntan lotion and sunburn prevention lotion, which is a completely different thing that most people use. So it's sunscreen, right?
Yeah.
Whereas suntan lotion is what you rub on yourself to keep yourself from getting too tanned, I guess, at a tanning salon.
Which makes sense. And now that I think about it, I can't decide whether suntan lotion is a sort of generic British term or if that's just my parents. I think it's my parents. They just say that and I've picked it up.
Well, obviously PAG.
PAG? Oh, PAG. Yeah. Well, PAG's an odd one because I think that's kind of more of a Grimsby's where I'm from, and I think that's more of a Grimsby term. It means to ride on the back of a bike with somebody. I think some people call it a baccy in England. Hey, do you want a baccy? No, I want a PAG, thank you. People think it sounds stupid. Even in England, people don't know what it means. I'm not sure I ever used that term yet, but I do use the term mardy, as in I'm very grumpy today. I'm feeling mardy. But mardy is barely used outside of that part of the north as well, I think. I believe it's used in and around Lincolnshire and maybe Yorkshire, and then not really known elsewhere. Unless I'm wrong about that, you can correct me if I am. I did touch on this one in a previous video, but the term stroking, as in stroking the dog, which again does sound borderline illegal, and I will admit that, having moved here. But you guys, Americans, say petting the dog, which actually my mother later pointed out after watching that previous video that also sounds a little illegal, because petting, at least where I'm from, means kissing. When you go into the swimming pools, there'll be signs that say no petting, as in your significant other. Or...
We have that here too.
Exactly. So you have it here, and yet so each of us has these terms for being affectionate toward animals that take it a little too far.
You don't kiss your dog?
I do kiss my dog. I don't kiss my dog in the French way.
Some people do.
Well, I don't even have a dog. I have cats.
True.
So where did that come from? But yeah, I certainly don't. What do you mean some people do? Who kisses dogs in the French way? Oh, right. This is a strange video so far.
We've gone a little too far, I think.
Wish I had a dictionary of British English or something. If in doubt, turn to this lovely book. It's by Anglotopia. You can get this at Amazon, of course. And let me take a look inside quickly. There are lots of words in here. What do I say? I'm trying to think. Oh, I did say that once. This one here. Lost the plot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I say that all the time now, and I think some people don't understand what I mean.
Yeah. Well,
thankfully, I'm around teachers all day, so they kind of get it just
because they've read Harry
by
Potter.
association.
Yeah.
Of just understanding what losing the plot literally means. So.
Yeah, it's someone who's gone mad. I've lost the plot, and I write for that. Chap. Chap's an odd one, isn't it, for people? Yeah, you're a fine, upstanding chap. Because that's how I talk.
Chat.
You know, chap.
Callie,
Actually, I do remember. I do remember one instance when I used to work for Indianapolis Fringe back in the day. There was a performer who'd come over from the East Coast, and I asked him, "So are you part of the Fringe Festival?" And he had to ask me again and again, "Did you just say French Festival?" Oh, that was a good one. This one did used to confuse the wife when we'd be talking about a food that's been in the fridge a little too long, and I'd ask her, "Has it gone off?" And she wouldn't know what I meant.
And I again use that all the time now, and people don't understand.
I've indoctrinated her into
fault.
Speaking of going off, we're going to go off now. Not in that way. I have showered today. But in the sense that we're leaving today. And so, tune in next week. And indeed, throughout the week, send us your ideas for videos. It saves me a job, really. So that'd be great. And and don't forget to subscribe to us on Facebook. That's very crucial. And Twitter, and to a lesser extent, Google+. I'm aware that most people don't use that.
Or you won't get your updates.
Bye. Okay.